All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel here. It's been a while since I've done an update on these tires. These are the Falken Wildpeak AT3W all-terrain tires. For some of you that have seen my videos before, as you know, I kind of do a brief or periodic updates as the mileage goes up here, just to give you an idea on where and what I've thought of them throughout the course of my time with them here. So just for clarification, these are the 295/70 18-inch diameter tires here in the 129 load index. So it's a little over 34 by about 11.5 or 12 inches wide. And so yeah, that's the size I got. So I'll give you an update on them here. Full disclosure, you can see I, as I've shown before, got them with 42,000 miles originally back in October of 2019 there, as you can see. So right now I'm sitting at a little over 92,000, so right at that 50,000 mile mark. So yeah, I'll give you an update here on how they've held up so far or worn. So my last update was 45, I believe, thousand. So here's the front here for comparison for tread depth checked here. You can see I'm in the 30 seconds here for measurement, and I'm probably, I'd say around that 15-30 seconds. See if I get to drop down there. It's clearly not 16, so it's probably about that 14.5, I would say. Between 14 and 14.5, 30 seconds, somewhere around 14, I would say, for the front. If we move on towards the back here, you can see, let's get a check here. So I'm under 13, or right about 13, 30 seconds here. Probably even 12.5, you want to say, if you get into that. Between 12 and 13, I would call it. So since my last video, yes, these have definitely worn down since then, as to be expected. However, not as dramatic or as much as I thought from other tires that I've ran in the past. But yeah, I'll give you my overall perspective here. So making it through the winter now, it's spring here in Minnesota, and the traction's been great. The ride quality is great. One thing to note here, as these wear, they're still super quiet. So even with 50,000 miles on them now, they're still very quiet. And I think that's got to do with kind of the pitch design that, or tread design that Falken's put with these tires here. So very quiet, still very good traction. Ride quality is really good. I think that's more important if you play with your tire pressures more than anything, to get that good ride quality. Obviously, like I said, previous videos, going back to chalk tests and tire rotations are huge. Not going to get into that too in depth, but that plays a huge role in how these wear. So I can do for a rotation here in about 1,000 miles, so stay on top of that. But yeah, I definitely plan to get at least all of summer and maybe some more. We'll see how quick they wear here now in the summer months. That it's going to be hotter out, so they might wear quicker, but that'll be the determining factor on if I try to go for another year out of these or get something new this fall. Being in the Midwest, Minnesota here, I like to have fresh tread, or a good amount of tread, I should say, going into winter. So that'll be the deciding factor if I hang on to these. Like I said, you can see still plenty of tread, so far looking good. So I don't really see a reason to replace them anytime soon. But yeah, traction's been great still. The 3Ws, winter weather, or winter wear, wet traction or something like that, I believe. And so that's, due to a lot of the variable tread pitch here with the canyon sipes that they got here, and the siping even down the center tread here too. So very good, well-designed tire. They've held up for me for 50,000 miles. 4 years now I've had them for, so multiple seasons with spring, fall, and summer here in the Midwest. So you got snow, ice, rain, excessive heat. You got everything thrown at these tires. On top of that, being an all-terrain, I do mild to, I would say maybe moderate off-roading every now and then, primarily like gravel roads or minimal maintenance roads for like hunting and fishing activities, as well as ice fishing too. I drive them on the lake in the winter, so you got to have a good tread here for good traction. So maybe a good thing to note here too is you can see the step bridges here for their tread blocks, so that's kind of another good indication of wear. But they put these in here. I think they probably function good for stone injectors, but also rigidity of your treads as your compound or your tread blocks here as they wear down. So I know previously there was 3 full steps here to give you an idea. We're now down to 2 steps here. So you could argue maybe a third of the tread is worn off. So like I do know new, these are 18, 30 seconds. So I'm around that 13, 12, 13, maybe 14, 30 seconds, all around 4 tires here. So they've worn really well and they've held up really well longevity wise. And so maybe one disclaimer with that in mind, this is on a 1/2 ton F-150. If you're running like a heavier, 3/4 ton, 1 ton diesel, like I've mentioned in my other videos, these might wear a little bit faster given your application. So I have started to tow with these a lot more in the last year. About a 4,500, maybe 5,000 pound trailer now, towing that fairly regularly. That's my fish house, as you may have seen in other videos, but so that might contribute to some of the wear I've seen, and that might increase as I use it throughout the summer for camping as well as the winter for ice fishing. So doing a little more towing now, and that might attribute to some increased wear as well, just to keep in mind if you're purchasing tires here. So let's talk about maybe durability here quickly too, as I've had them for almost 4 years, or maybe 50,000 miles, as I've said. And let's just look at the overall tread here. Nothing's really dried out on the sidewall, nothing's cracked, there's no dry rot or anything like that, which is awesome. So that's one thing that's very impressive with these tires so far. Some other manufacturers I've had, and I don't even air down much, hardly ever, if at all actually, start to dry rot on the sidewall. So it's one important thing, or one definitely positive thing about these tires I've noticed. It's probably due to the silica or tread compound that they use. You can see there's a little bit of abrasion or chip wear here on each of the outside treads, which is good. That means I'm getting a good bite on the edges here, good contact patch here on the edge, good bite when doing off-roading and gravel roads and such. So to be expected. However, I'm not seeing like any crazy chips or even like tread block wear, like any huge areas of deformation or anything that would actually like be a chip or a breakaway from the tread patch here itself. So I don't see anything like that. There's a little bit of, you might call it dry rot here, but nothing too terrible. Like nothing's actually cracking or splitting at the seams within the tread itself. So there's nothing really concerning at all with these. So if they hold up to that throughout, if I get some more mileage out of them and they hold up to that, that's awesome. But yeah, just looking at the durability, I don't see anything that's really eye-opening or anything to be aware of here in terms of abnormal wear, or like I said, dry rot within the rubber itself. So they've held up great. But yeah, just want to give you an update here at 50,000 miles, where they're at. So far, been nothing but impressed with these tires. Like I said, I might be entertaining getting something this fall going into winter, depending on how fast these wear down now. Being that it's summer, so I would expect them to wear a little bit faster just with the heat, the excessive heat on the road. So only time will tell for that. But yeah, I'll keep you posted as long as I have them still, what my expectations of them are, and kind of a review of them periodically throughout the mileage here, probably going forward. So anyways, hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions on, what I've thought of them so far, addition to this video, or size questions or anything like that, I'd be happy to answer them if you guys are curious or have any questions. So definitely drop a comment below if you got anything more you want to know about these tires. So thanks for watching, guys.